I got hit by him a few times, definitely, and he was not a nice player on the field. I can tell you that there was no compassion when it came to Lawrence Taylor on the football field.
That was linebacker, not exactly a compassionate
Well, you know,
position.
you think a guy would pick you up and say, hey, all right, you know, whatever, but, you know, he didn't say too much out there.
3rd down and 9. Jerry Rice is in the game for the first time, and Young throws, and it's incomplete. Sean Springs covering Jerry on the play.
So you look at some of these players out here, guys, the young players, Sean Springs, Charles Woodson. I mean, the AFC is loaded with some really young superstar talent that's going to be around for a long time. And this guy here, Sean Springs, is going to be one of those players that we should see here on a perennial basis.
Randy Moss is the youngest player in today's game, but if you take the next 8 youngest players, they're all wearing red shirts today. They're all playing for the AFC.
Matt Turk kicking. Jermaine Lewis of the Ravens brings it back to the 26-yard line, and he is popped there by Michael Bates, selected as the special teamer. There's a little contact here today.
No other way to describe it. Very windy all week.
A 3-club wind on the golf course. This is Vinny Testaverde dumping it off to Marshall Faulk. And Faulk takes it up to the 33-yard line. So Elway plays 1 series, guides them to a touchdown, and now Testaverde going without a huddle.
Well, you have to remember, this is Charlie Weiss's offense of the New York Jets, so they're going to let Vinny get out there in a no huddle and run it like a 2-minute drill and try to run those defensive linemen into the ground a little bit.
2nd down 4. Vinny stands in and then throws a little low for his teammate Keyshawn Johnson. The 2 Jets trying to link up. 3rd and 4.
Bill Belichick has a really complicated game plan today. Let Vinny take it the first half, the bulk of the first half, and score some points. Get everybody nice and tired, and then let Doug Flutie come in the second half. The defensive linemen are tired, and they'll hate the chasing.
3rd down and 4 without a huddle, and it is picked off by Aeneas Williams of the Arizona Cardinals.
Now, that was not in Belichick's plan.
No, it wasn't.
What a softball by Vinny.
One of the things, too, about Aeneas Williams, he's a great ball hawk as a defensive back, and he has the ability to make plays with his back turned. And you think you got him beat, you better be careful. He'll come out and make a play against you.
NFC has it, but the AFC has the lead 7-0.
John Elway, and John, you made it look easy there. The pressure a little bit different here in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, just a little bit. It's kind of nice to get out here and play, but yeah, a little bit different.
Yeah, you didn't even look for Seau, and he was wide open.
You know what? He was lobbying hard in the huddle, but unfortunately, Green came untouched, so I just had Sam out in his flat and was able to get it to him.
Now, John, whether you come back next year or not, there is another ring in your future. You know that, don't you? You're going to have to wait 5 years for it.
That's true. That's right. But that's what I was saying when I saw Eric Dickerson walking out. I said, you know that, and I told Mark Schroth, I said, that's when you know you're getting old, when a guy that was drafted is now going in the same class is now going in the Hall of Fame. So,
well, you're voted in by your peers, but John, you've always been peerless. Congratulations on a great career.
Thanks, Dan. I appreciate it.
Al? All right. Thank you, Dan. Good to have Dan Fouts working with us today. Dan doing college football with Brent Musburger.
And Dan Fouts referring to the Hall of Fame ring that he has on his finger.
Dan holding several Pro Bowl records, in fact, career marks. As Young throws caught by Moss, and he has a first down as Randy takes it to the 26. Randy Moss, the youngest player in the game at the age of 21.
You know, so dangerous. And we were talking to Denny Green yesterday, and he mentioned something to us, I think, that kind of caught us a little bit off guard, and that was the fact that he thinks that Randy Moss might try it out for the NBA in 2 years. And he was serious.
He was. He said it, and we looked at him like, no.
Come on.
We did look at him, our jaws a little bit slackened, and he said, hey, I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to play part-time in the NBA.
He said he could be a shooting guard. This is Anderson, and Jamal Anderson doing what he did so well during the regular season, and look at that as he takes it to the 12-yard line, turning a 3-yard gain into a 14-yard gain. Some exhibition in an exhibition game.
Well, Jamal Anderson with those tremendous thighs of his and the great leg strength. Of course, I think that was a longer run than he had in the NFC Championship game when they beat the Vikings up there at the Metrodome. But look at this. That has everything. Power, balance. Boy, that is a grinding it out run.
Young throws. Moss to the 8-yard line. He's tackled there by Ty Law, who's had a wonderful career at New England and finally gets the Pro Bowl acclaim he so richly deserves this year.
The thing about Jamal Anderson is his first Pro Bowl, and again, first Pro Bowlers are going to tend to really push it. And that's certainly something that Randy Moss is going to be trying to do out here, but Ty Law does a really nice job of wrapping him up.
Junior Seau thinking about how do I get back in on offense. Second down 5 from the 7. And they give it to the up back, and that's Mike Alstott of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Steve Atwater. But I will tell you, you see number 52 from the Baltimore Ravens right there, Ray Lewis, a third-year player right now, and he could quite possibly be, at least in my estimation, the next great middle linebacker in this league. He has all the tools. He has great speed. He has great vision, and certainly a wonderful tackler.
Well, he's got the range, Boomer. You're right. He is a sideline to sideline guy. Physically reminds me a little bit of Willie Lanier,
right?
The shorter, more compact middle linebacker.
Third down and 3. Young has it knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Steve going right over the middle and had it knocked away, and it's 4th down, and they'll send in the field goal. You look like Darrell Russell plays across the bay from Young, and Oakland knocking it away. 4th down. Talking about the Ravens, the Baltimore Ravens have 6 guys in the game, and Brian Billick is their new coach. well,
just a testament to what the rest of the league thinks of the roster on that team. They have some explosive defensive players, and Billick will bring some stability to them.
23-yard attempt by Gary Anderson, who didn't miss a kick all season until the playoffs, and he missed that one against Atlanta. Tax on 3 here, 7-3 AFC.
Just saw a 14-yard pickup by this man, Jamal Anderson, but we haven't seen the Dirty Bird. We didn't see it in the Super Bowl. Are we going to see it here?
Well, you know, we're going to try to get in the end zone. Me and Randy are talking about it. You know, one of us has got to make a score. So I'm just trying to get, you know, learning the offense is a trip, man. I'm just trying to get used to it. Just say, hey, forget it. I just got to find the running lanes and make plays.
Well, just give us a little taste of it. And do you think you could teach it to Alan, Boomer, and Dan?
That's my goal. That's definitely my goal. After the game, I'm going to have a little private Dirty Bird session for all the people out there, especially those 3 guys.
Well, give them a taste of it.
It's just up, down, up, across, and flat. Hopefully you'll see it.
I think our guys can do it. Thanks, Jamal. Back to you.
Thank you, Leslie. Marshall Faulk with a big run there, doing his own little dance version on his way to a 23-yard pickup.
Now, the greatest thing about Jamal Anderson, I think, and not only is he a great running back, but just the smile and the way he carries himself, and what was a great year for the Atlanta Falcons, the way that he carried himself. I mean, and putting the Dirty Bird reminded me of the old Ickey Shuffle.
You know, your Ickey Woods, your old teammate. And the one thing about it, and keep this in mind, this is not to demean those 5 guys. He was not operating behind one of the premier offensive lines in the NFL.
Here's Eddie George, the tall and angular one of the Tennessee soon-to-be Titans. Picks up 8, tackled by Eugene Robinson.
I thought that Art Shell, with the Atlanta Falcons offensive line, turned in one of the fine coaching jobs of this entire 98 season, the way he got that unit to play together. They got a mixture of some veterans, a lot of babies on that line, just kids, but yet Jamal Anderson had the phenomenal year. They gave Chandler time to throw the football. It was, and it just, again, when you operate behind a line that doesn't have a lot of Pro Bowl players on it, it just once again exemplifies the year that Anderson had.
Second down and 2. And this time it is Sam Gash taking the ball to the 40-yard line, close to a first down. And we can tell you the Pro Bowl is being brought to you by Budweiser. Now is the perfect time to enjoy a brewery fresh Beechwood aged Budweiser. AT&T Net Dot working. Everyone and everything working together in a whole new way. Thrifty Car Rental. Great cars, great rates in over 70 countries around the world. Best of all, it's thrifty. And Edge Pro Gel. Lose the foam. Save your skin.
We had a shot of Bob Whitfield on the sideline there. He was an alternate for today's game, the left tackle of the Atlanta Falcons, and he's here because William Roaf of the Saints couldn't play.
On 3rd and inches, this is Eddie George taking it inside the 35, and we're going to see a lot more of Eddie today than we normally would because of the shoulder injury sustained by Terrell Davis, and Davis replaced, and Eddie George will see more action along with Marshall Faulk, and Curtis Martin actually came over to replace Terrell on the roster.
And he got here last night. Actually,
Friday
the night before. The night before, and we came over here to watch practice on Saturday. They didn't have a practice, so he didn't even get a practice in. But he does know the offense because it is the Jet offense.
There is Martin wearing an unfamiliar number 29, because Falk, who has seniority, was already given 28. Testaverde throws into double coverage, and that is picked off by Jesse Armstead. So a Giant intercepts a Jet, and he flips it back to Buchanan, and he's out of bounds.
And Ray thrilled as he's crushed by Tony Baselli.
Side judge pointing one way, but clearly the possession was retained by the NFC.
Ray Buchanan, don't do me any favors like that anymore.
What a terrific play by Jesse Armstead, reading Vinny Testaverde's eyes and leaving Ben Coates his coverage and coming off and making a play, knowing that Vinny was looking downfield and undercutting McCaffrey, or coming over the top, I should say. And Jesse,
I got it.
And Jesse really, along with Jason Sehorn and Michael Strahan, you know, the backbone of the Giant defense, was hurt this year and didn't really get a chance to become the player that we had all thought he was going to be this year, but now certainly has done his job in the Pro Bowl.
At the 24-yard line now, it is Steve Young on first down, and that's the second pass in a row that's been knocked down. Darrell Russell knocked down the last one with his helmet, and this time Cortez Kennedy of the Seahawks knocks this down. A reminder, Tuesday night, the Best Cop Show on TV. It's an all-new NYPD Blue, Tuesday night at 10 Eastern Pacific, 9 Central Time, coming up on ABC.
That guy Ricky Schroeder is doing a great job on that show.
Certainly is.
I was wondering, because I was a big fan, but now I'll tell you what, he stepped right in.
Not easy to replace Jimmy Smits. He's done a wonderful job.
Second down and 10. Young nearly tripped up, throws, comes back toward the middle. It's caught up at the 28-yard line for a minimal gain by Mike Alstott. Bill Romanowski covering on the play. Alstott, his second year in a row here. Last year we saw $8 in the game.
No, definitely a team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I actually picked them to go to the Super Bowl, we recall, in the preseason, and I still believe that they have a tremendous football team led by Hardy Nickerson if he can get back to where he was playing in the middle of that defense.
Third down and 5. Young over the middle, and that's caught, and it's close to a first down. Wesley Walls may have it with forward progress. We'll see. Walls, one-time teammate of Steve at San Francisco, now at Carolina. Say Allen Lewis made the tackle. And it is a first down. The move is 6. First down at the 35, and Randall Cunningham is loosening up. He'll be next in for the NFC.
He bombs away when he gets in there.
First and 10 of the 35. AFC on top 7-3. If you're just joining us, John Elway played one series, guided the AFC to a touchdown. And on first down, the handoff goes to Emmitt Smith up to the 39. Goes the venerable Cowboy for a gain of 4.
When Emmitt just barely got tripped, and there was a huge hole in the middle of the offensive line. They ran a trap, and if Emmitt was able to get through there without stumbling, he might have gone for 15 or 20 yards.
Now, one of the rules in the Pro Bowl is that the center could not be covered by a defensive lineman. Is that right?
That's they call it an even front. In other words, the 2 defensive tackles are across from the 2 guards. The 2 defensive ends are across from the 2 tackles. It's the old-fashioned 4-3.
Young throws.
That's old-fashioned interference.
And old-fashioned interference. Steve Atwater getting there before the ball, and flag for hitting Chris Carter prematurely.
But then you would think with that defensive alignment that the middle of the defense is the vulnerable place to try to run into.
Well, you always try to go to the bubble whenever you're attacking a defense, and especially if it's a front that maybe the linebackers and the tackles aren't used to playing. I mean, let's take an example here. Ted Washington from the Buffalo Bills is a nose tackle. He's always lined up across from the center. Now he's got to play an even front. It's an unusual look. And there is Ted Washington.
That's one big man.
We couldn't even guess what he weighs after a couple luau's over here.